I think in decades, but my philosophy actually compounds daily. And it's really something that it doesn't have to be with just making money and investments, but philosophically. I'm not rich in everything, but I am rich in philosophy. Because I think really one thing that'll lead to you and me making more money is to really let philosophy and the mind compound before money. That is another thing that I am starting to learn a lot, especially since I read the 48 Laws of Power. That one really taught me about logic and human nature. And it really told me about why the mind is the biggest battle, especially the mind. And it really, I can't recommend that book enough. It's such a good book, and it taught me a lot of things about really power plays and how people are going to try and steal as much as they can from you. And it starts with noticing it. And I think what makes philosophy a really good investment is that it lets you critically think in ways that not everybody does. And you can actually take advantage of that in places where you could actually make a lot of money. And it doesn't really start off with too much. I think it's more about delayed gratification. It's almost just like investing. You're not going to make a ton of money right away. It's about learning first. And then really those returns will skyrocket, especially with the books I'm reading. The 40 Laws of Power is good. And then the Intelligent Investor, that one too. I read them both right after another, and I think that is really what taught me a lot about money. Because money is also about what people do with it and the logic of why people spend money, but also how to create value. This one's important, creating value. It doesn't even get taught in schools, creating value. And that is really the value is created by alleviating pain. Alleviating pain. It's not talked about like that in school. In school, it's talked about really how can I solve problems in ways where maybe for the employer or somebody else, how can I fix it? How can I be more efficient? It doesn't have to be with more efficient if you think outside the box and really compress knowledge and things that you know into something where I know a straight path right to it. I know how to get there because of the books I read and this stuff. I'm in university right now and I'm learning a decent amount of things, but I think I'm learning more from reading books. I think books are the best investment. Isn't it funny how the richest people in the world also have libraries in their house and different things instead of TVs and all this entertainment stuff? Some of the most influential ones, they have shelves of books. And actually, it doesn't even cost too much, to be honest. You don't have to start with a ton of money investing in books or in time. I think you don't have to like speed read books every day constantly. I think really just reading a certain amount of pages every day. And it's really not too expensive. You can actually buy used books on thrift books. I'll put a link in the description, but thrift books, they let you buy books really cheap. Like less than $5 you can buy used books. You can even buy lower condition books for even cheaper because they're just used books. They're donated to different things. And it's wonderful the amount of power and knowledge for not that much money. Like I used to buy books from Barnes and Nobles and goddamn it was expensive, like $20-$30 a book. And now as soon as I learned about thrift books, and it's literally $5, you gotta pay shipping I think, but it does wonders. And books are an investment. And really, that is what they taught me, is that knowledge compounds. I can always learn more rather than I can think about the stuff that I learned so much, or I can learn more and build my index of knowledge. Really, I guess to say it fancy, the advancing my lexicon, because really, it it really does expand your brain in ways that it doesn't. Same thing with compound interest, and it doesn't start off too much, but once it hits off, you hit it big, especially with money and investments. And you can do the same thing with books and knowledge. I think you could translate the exact same strategy into books, and I think this will make you a lot too, especially if you want to start a company or do your own thing, because the job market sucks, man. And I think a really good thing is to do it independently, or maybe work as an independent contractor and really do things yourself and learn and use the knowledge you get to make even more. And that really starts also with investing in philosophy, not just making investments in money, but philosophy. I mean, the bookshelf I have next to me, it's so amazing. The knowledge in there. Also, it doesn't even have to be books. You can learn for free by watching podcasts. I'm telling you, podcasts are just like books. And not only that, but it really helps more of the mimetic side of the person. Especially for me, just listening constantly to those things I have on playing in my head with podcasts, just listening. It really does make you smarter, because you get to people break down their conversations while you're listening to it. And not only that, but you get to hear perspectives. One of the best ways to learn a lot is to hear other perspectives. Instead of arguing and all these different things, you learn about perspectives. That actually increases your knowledge more. That's something that I learned, because I didn't start off reading a ton of books, to be honest. I wasn't always the best book reader. But once I realized that just starting to read books and letting the knowledge compound, that's where I hit it big. Is not right away, but after a while. And it's the same thing with me making these videos and sharing my information. I'm gonna give without expecting anything in return. I don't really want to be too rich from just this. I want to help people first. I think I'll be compensated for my time when I really help people. I think it's about helping people, and really to help yourself first with learning knowledge. And maybe you could do the same thing as me and share the information. And I think that also helps, because philosophy compounds daily and it allows you to think in decades. Same thing like an investment. Some of the greatest investment returns weren't even financial. It's learning. It's those aha moments. Oh crap, I just realized I've been doing this thing the entire time and I could have been doing it differently. Oh my goodness. And now I changed my philosophy. And now, maybe if I run my own thing, and now I just realized I could be making even more, doing something even more. And all it was just a philosophical investment. And the mind really does have compound interest in those philosophical ideas. I mean, we're just as intelligent as we were as cavemen, which is kind of funny, but the reason is because it's our knowledge that has compound, and us building from the people before us on knowledge in our society, and it actually compounded. That's why in the past 100 years technology has skyrocketed, is because all the knowledge and stuff that's built before it has been constantly compounding. And I think you could do it for the same knowledge in your head. That really, I don't think it's too much. I mean, thrift books. For $5 you can get a book. And not just that, but like literally any book that is worth so much money. I mean, there are some books where you'll read it and it could have changed your philosophy and made you thousands or millions of bucks. Like some of the richest people, they had mindset shifts. They didn't always think the same. Their mindset is constantly shifting into better and better things, because they realized it's not about being the smartest in the room, it's being the most intelligent and absorbing and compounding knowledge. And I really think building that skill is with books. I mean, I just can't stress it enough with books, especially, I mean, there are so many different books you can read. I don't really need to recommend any books, I think. You should find the books on yourself because I'm a completely different person than you. And I think the best way to start is by finding what you like. But for me, nonfiction works the best because it's something in real life, actionable steps, something that actually happened is nonfiction. That is why I think nonfiction is more important than fiction. Fiction does some good stuff, but I don't think it's easier to learn from that more as it is the artistic style and learning styles and different ways to think. That's good with fiction, but for nonfiction, it's more about also different ways to think, but learning from other people without having to make their mistakes. And it's amazing. And if you like the value that I provided, please consider subscribing or just helping me out. I really think I just want to help people, and I'm gonna make new videos every week trying to help people just in any way I can with these videos. And it really starts with just starting to let that compound interest really let it hit. It doesn't have to be financial, but philosophical too. Because you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You have to be the most intelligent, the most adaptable, the most who's willing to learn. Because I think that is really where it starts. It's adaptability and learning. And I hope you learned something from this, because really it's not just about the reading of books, not the action of reading the books. It's about learning from it. That not everybody really realizes when reading books is that you're learning other people's mistakes, and that is really where it starts. Especially with the amount of time it took somebody to read that book or to make the book versus you reading it. I think it's such value that doesn't happen in today's society. I mean, even in my university, most people don't read books. It's shocking. It's really shocking. And I think it starts with reading books and letting that knowledge compound. Just like compound interest, you won't make as much money right now, but later, holy crap, you hit it big with money. And it starts with starting. It really does. And I appreciate your time.